facing a pending budget shortfall with requests for help coming from all corners of the state. Illinois lawmakers are preparing for a busy couple of months in Springfield.
And WGN political reporter Taman Bradley spoke with House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch today about what lies ahead.
Tense moments already in 2025 between three of the state's most powerful politicians, Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, and House Speaker Welch. Welch sat down with us today to discuss priorities for the state and Chicago. To enact his progressive agenda, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is looking to Springfield for an assist. But the powerful Speaker of the Illinois House, Emanuel Chris Welch, is warning Johnson that money's tight.
The mayor of Chicago and mayors all across the state will have to come to us with realistic expectations. They can't expect to hear us say no from time to time. We're entering into this budget season with a $3.1 billion projected deficit. That's billion with a B.
Last week, Governor Pritzker slammed Mayor Johnson and his team for not developing good relationships in Springfield. Welch calls Johnson a very good friend whom he'd like to help if the mayor would get specific about what he wants.
I need to know what his wish list is. What's his ask? Let me help you deliver what we can. What is that? I don't know, but let's have that conversation.
To help Johnson and close the budget hole, Welch is not ready to endorse raising the state income tax.
People don't want us talking about taxes right now.
Also last week, Speaker Welch got into a dust-up with Governor Pritzker. Welch decided not to bring to the floor a Pritzker-backed bill that would regulate increasingly common hemp products, including ban the sale of synthetic THC gummies to children. The governor thought he had 60 House Democratic votes for the measure. Welch says that's not true.
It wasn't even close. The governor gave us a roll call. He knew beforehand that we were going to verify that roll call, and that roll call wasn't even close.
The governor told reporters that during a private House Democratic caucus, officials from his administration were verbally abused by lawmakers, and he blames Welch for not intervening. Why did the governor's members of his team leave out of that meeting in tears?
Well, listen, the governor wasn't present in our caucus meeting, and it got a little emotional. I did talk to those members immediately after caucus, and it's my understanding they reached out to those staffers immediately after I talked to them. Caucus, it gets emotional sometimes.
Welch says tensions ran high due to lingering bad feelings about the lack of minority ownership in the legal cannabis system.
There's a perception that the social equity program was not done correctly in the cannabis space. And here we have an industry where there are a lot of black and brown owners currently in existence. And the legislation that's currently proposed would literally put those people out of business right now. And it would turn it over to the cannabis people. Welch told us before Springfield provides Chicago's regional transit operators with a lifeline, reform is needed. On the budget deficit, Welch says the state should look for efficiencies before it considers raising the income tax. Taman Bradley, WGN News.